introduction, Clarissa. And so for all of you who are participating in today's segment, thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about these things that can really help you navigate more of the challenges that we find ourselves in. And so for today's mindfulness practice, I thought that before I started, I just give a brief definition of what mindfulness is, because those of you who didn't join us the first session, this might be the first time you've heard of it. And so it's just good to have a little bit of a background so that you can further appreciate what you're doing. So there is no universal definition of mindfulness, but the one that I like using is the one that's been shared by John Kabat-Zinn, who's the founder of mindfulness-based stress reduction. And I favor his explanation because it's very accessible to people who've never done this before. And so one way to think about mindfulness is it's really just a way of paying attention, which is something we've been doing our whole life. So anytime we're engaged in any kind of activity, we're paying attention. And so mindfulness is just a way of paying attention. It's just that it has three specific qualities which differentiate it from our normal modes of paying attention. And so the first thing that distinguishes mindfulness is we're paying attention deliberately on purpose, okay, as opposed to normal modes of being where we allow our attention to be hijacked by distractions in the environment. So when we're being mindful, we're a lot more intentional, we're a lot more deliberate about what we're paying attention to. So there's a bit more of an effort to sustain our awareness. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second is that when we're being mindful, we are training our attention on what's making itself present in this moment. So our experience right now as it unfolds, that's what we're paying attention to. And again, this is very different from our normal modes of being, where our attention either goes into the past, we're reminiscing, remembering, recollecting, or it's going into the future. When we're anticipating, we're planning, we're thinking about what to eat for dinner, we're thinking about the meeting we have to prepare for tomorrow. And so mindfulness, again, is a little different because it's about training our awareness on, what's unfolding for me right now? How is life showing up at this very moment? And then the third and final characteristic of mindfulness is that it invites us to relate to our present circumstances with kindness, with curiosity, with warmth, as opposed to our normal mode, which is to continuously assess, evaluate, and judge. So rather than having an experience and then automatically thinking, is this good, is this bad, is this going to forward my intentions, is this inconvenient, mindfulness invites us to, just let things be as they are. Just for now, let's suspend the judgments. And so that's it. When we're being mindful, we're paying attention on purpose, on our present moment experience in a manner that is kind, warm, and receptive. Okay, so there are a huge variety of mindfulness techniques. The one that I chose for us this morning, I chose for two reasons. Okay, one has to do with relevance, because many of us right now, this morning session was geared towards parents. We're dealing with, on the one hand, a sense of overwhelm. Things are just so much harder to do in these circumstances compared to before COVID-19. It takes twice, thrice, four times as much time and energy to accomplish the same number of things that we used to. And so the sense of overwhelm is massive. People feel trapped, suffocated, pressured, and so on and so forth. And so this technique is designed to help create a sense of internal resource so that there's just a little bit more space. Okay. The other thing is that besides feeling overwhelmed, a number of us are really just feeling ungrounded, off balance, decentered. I mean, every week it's a new normal that we have to navigate. There are new memos, new rules, how to relate to people, how to go out and do our groceries, how to run our businesses. And so we're feeling perpetually unsettled. It's like having the rug pulled out from under our feet every other day. So on the one hand, we feel overwhelmed. On the other hand, we feel like we can't find solid ground. And so again, this technique is designed to cultivate some internal resource. And the final reason I chose this technique is because since Dr. Nang spoke about play therapy, This technique combines mindfulness and also the imagination. So it's going to call in our imaginal skills, our ability to visualize. So it's just a nice way of concluding today's session. Okay, so this particular technique is something I learned from Bodhi Badenoch, who's a senior meditation teacher, and it's called the Earth and the Sky meditation. Okay, so that's what we're going to be exploring. And so whether you're sitting on the floor or on a chair, just taking a moment to sit in a way that allows you to embody the qualities of dignity and ease. So just allowing the spine to be long and letting your chest be open, and just allowing your shoulders to gently drop down towards the ground away from your ears. You can soften your gaze, just letting your eyes rest on a point 2 to 3 feet in front of you, or you can close your eyes altogether. Now let's just ease into the practice by taking 3 rounds of the breath. Just breathe in through the nose, feeling your stomach expand. Exhale through the nose, feeling your belly moving in towards the spine. 2 more times, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose, inhaling and exhaling. And for the next few minutes, I'd like you to pay more attention to your exhalation. As you breathe out, begin to notice that there is a very subtle, natural, sinking sensation when you breathe out. Like the whole body just relaxes downwards into the ground. And so as you breathe out, I'd like you to connect with that gentle, rooting, grounding, sinking sensation. Every time you breathe out, just surrender some of that sense of burden you've been carrying. Just surrender all of it to the ground that's underneath you. And with every exhale, really begin to connect with the qualities of the earth, whether you're feeling it through your buttocks if you're sitting on the ground, or if you're feeling it through your feet if you're sitting on a chair. With every exhale, just being present to the sensation of the ground underneath your feet or your sit bones. That sense of being held by something steady and stable and unyielding. And so with every exhale, connecting with the qualities of the earth. And you can imagine yourself as a tree spreading its roots down into the ground. And with every exhale, imagine your roots growing stronger. And so that whatever winds blow your tree, whatever typhoons, whatever hurricanes strike at your trunk and at your branches, you're holding fast into the earth. Just taking a few moments with every exhalation, connecting with the qualities of rooting, of grounding, of centering. You can pause and you can just feel your feet. The earth will always stay underneath our feet. And we can rest on that. And so just connecting with that sensation, that firmness, and just allowing the earth to carry you gently. And just staying with these associations for the next few cycles of the exhale. And now gently let that go. And now we move on to the next stage of this mindfulness technique. For the next couple of minutes, this time around, focus on your inhales. And notice that when you breathe in, there is a natural lengthening, expansive quality in the body. That when you breathe in, you grow taller for just a tiny bit. And this is because when your lungs expand, the bones in your spine draw apart ever so slightly. And so as you inhale, I'd like you to imagine that you're the tree growing up into the sky. Imagine your branches reaching up towards the heavens. And begin to connect with the qualities of freedom, of space, of expansiveness, of elevation, of perspective that are associated with the sky. And so as you breathe in, just imagine yourself in that horizonless blue environment. No limits as far as the eye can see. And the earth just stretching underneath you from far away. Just notice how it's a little easier to breathe. And so with every inhale, connecting with the qualities of the sky, that sense of freedom and space and liberation. And in the days ahead, anytime that you feel trapped or suffocated or overwhelmed, you can do this. You can step outside for a few moments and just look up at the sky. And inhale, draw yourself up tall, and just feel, have an embodied sense of that space, that freedom, that expansion. And just doing this for a few more cycles of the breath. Now let that go, and we'll go to the final stage of the meditation. And in the final stage, we're going to combine both of these qualities. Whenever you inhale, connect with the qualities of the sky, the sense of freedom and space and elevation. And every time you exhale, connect with the qualities of the earth, that sense of grounding and rooting and stability and safety. And because we do these techniques to serve us and what we need, as we go into this final stage, feel free to tailor the practice to what you need. So if you feel like you've been really overwhelmed, you could use more of the qualities of the sky, then focus more on your inhale. But if you've been feeling really off balance, really decentered, focus more on the qualities of the earth and stay with your exhales. And we'll just do this for a few more moments. Breathing in, connecting with the qualities of the sky. Breathing out, connecting with the qualities of the earth. And this is what it means to be human. We're creatures of both heaven and earth. And then taking your time, if you happen to have closed your eyes, you may gently open them now. So thank you very much. I hope you found that technique useful, and I hope it will serve you in the days ahead.